Here's a wild thought for you. For your favorite indie artist to earn minimum wage in the US, they need over 500,000 Spotify streams every single month. Yeah, that's just one of the big reasons why artists and fans are starting to look for the exit. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Spotify, from its controversial payout system all the way to its CEO's billion-dollar bet on military AI. Let's get right into it.
So that's the big mystery, right? Why is the biggest, most dominant music platform on the planet suddenly facing a backlash? It's a story that's all about money, algorithms, and some really controversial investments. And it all starts with the most basic question. How do the people who actually make the music get paid?
All right, the first major problem, and this has been a sore spot for a long time, is how Spotify's payout system works, or for a lot of artists, how it doesn't work. It's famously complicated, so let's just break it down nice and simple.
So here's how the money trickles down. Spotify doesn't just pay a penny per stream, it's way more complex. First, all the subscription money goes into one giant pot. Right off the top, Spotify takes a 30% cut for itself. The rest is then divided up based on who got the most streams. But wait, we're not done. The record labels then take their huge slice, and only then, after all that, does the artist get the tiny crumbs left over.
So what is left for the artist? Well, after everyone else has taken their piece of the pie, the average payout is, wait for it, about 1/10 of a single cent per stream. Let me put that another way. If you streamed your favorite artist's song 1,000 times, you'd have earned them about $1.
And if you think that sounds low, get ready for this number. 567,000. That's how many streams an artist needs every single month just to make the equivalent of a minimum wage salary in the US. Over 500,000 streams. Every single month just to scrape by. And this, right here, just shows the disconnect. On one side, you've got artists struggling to make a living, and on the other, Spotify is doing just fine, thank you very much. Last year, the company made over $1 billion in profit. Oh, and they're headquartered in Luxembourg, a well-known tax haven, which helps them avoid a lot of taxes. The difference is just staggering.
But you know, this whole thing isn't just about the money. It's also about the music itself. Spotify's super powerful algorithms are literally shaping what we listen to and what artists feel pressured to create. Let's take a look. Think about how you use Spotify. A huge amount of the time, you're not actually searching for a specific song, are you? In fact, about half of all listening on the platform happens inside of playlists. That gives Spotify's playlist algorithm, which is known as the syndicate, a crazy amount of power over what gets popular.
So how does this algorithm work? Well, it's all about data. It tests songs on small playlists, and if a song doesn't get skipped much, it gets promoted to bigger playlists. This whole system rewards music that's easy to listen to right away and pretty much punishes anything that's a bit of a creative risk. You know, like a slow-building intro or a weird song structure.
Since so many playlists are just background music for work or studying, the algorithm loves songs that are, well, kind of bland and inoffensive. There's this great quote that says it all. The focus isn't on giving people reasons to listen to your music, but avoiding giving them reasons to turn it off. And many people blame this pressure for why so much pop music in the 2010s started to sound so similar.
Okay, so we've got underpaid artists and algorithms that prefer safe, bland music. But this is where the story takes a turn into the truly strange. It turns out a lot of the music on Spotify's biggest playlists might not even be from real artists at all. Let me introduce you to the ghost artist. These are real musicians that get hired by Spotify to create generic background music, you know, for those peaceful piano or deep focus playlists. They get paid a small one-time fee and that's it. This is a brilliant move for Spotify because it lets them fill up their popular playlists without having to pay out royalties on millions of streams. It saves them a fortune. And of course, the problem is evolving. We've gone from human ghost artists to fully AI-generated artists. These cost literally nothing to create, and they are flooding the platform. It's making it almost impossible for us, the listeners, to know if we're hearing a real person's art or just something spit out by code. And if you think that sounds a little dystopian, just listen to some of the names of these AI artists. You might stumble upon tracks by the Tennessee Reaper, or the Georgia Phantom, or even the Velvet Sundown. One AI creation called Deshaun Williams released over 127 songs in just a couple of months and got hundreds of thousands of listeners before anyone figured it out. So these issues with artist pay and algorithms have been simmering for years. But for many people, the final straw, the thing that made them actually leave, came from way outside the world of music. It involved Spotify CEO Daniel Ek and a huge investment in a very different industry. So back in 2021, Daniel Ek invested €100 million into a defense tech company called Helsing, which specializes in using AI for warfare. But earlier this year, he didn't just invest an additional $1 billion, he also became the chairman of the company's board. He's all in. As you can imagine, this sparked total outrage. The legendary band Massive Attack, who have over 8 million monthly listeners, announced they were pulling all their music off Spotify. Their statement really captured how a lot of people felt, that the money from fans and artists was now being used to fund, in their words, lethal, dystopian technologies.
So when you put it all together, the low pay, the bland algorithms, the fake artists, and now this massive ethical controversy, what's the result? Well, all of this is starting to have a very real impact on Spotify's place in the market.
And you can see that impact right here in the data. While Spotify is still growing, its overall share of the market is actually shrinking. As you can see, competitors like YouTube Music and Amazon Music are gaining ground pretty fast. It means Spotify can't just assume it'll be number one forever. The exodus is starting to show.
And Spotify seems to know it's in trouble. The company is scrambling to add all these new features that people have been asking for, trying to stop the bleeding. But they're doing all this while their public image is being, as one industry analyst put it, completely eviscerated.
Which really leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? For years, Spotify has been the default. It's just easy. But as more and more of us become aware of all these deep-rooted problems, you have to ask, is that convenience really worth the cost? And could this be the moment that actually changes how we listen to and value music for good? If you're looking for more simple and useful tech insights like this, make sure to subscribe to Refreshing Tech.